420, 250, 250. Irish Approach, 270, 270. Mystico's third. The 3-1 Exacta, $8.90. The whole world is lining up to bet a firster from Lucas today. It's a sprint for maiden 2-year-olds. The horse is the number 6, Honor and Glory. The rider is Mike Smith.
They're off. Gregory Hines getting out quickly on the inside. Jetting Robert is there. There goes Honor and Glory off a step slowly, but quickly rushes up to take the lead with a flourish. It's Honor and Glory to the lead. Blushing John right there with him, second by 2. Rosa and Bloom running in third. Ideal State on the far outside, fourth. Jetting Robert fifth between horses. Tom and Kath is sixth toward the inside, and between horses it's Gregory Hines. That group is followed by Clear. Then there's a break of 4 back to Hail to the Lion, who's followed by Seattle's Fastest. The Truth Tailors are Surround Sound and Andrew's Courage. They rattle off a quarter in 22 seconds flat, and it's Honor and Glory, pressed by Blushing Jim as they hit the top of the stretch, and they ran a half in 45 3. Honor and Glory coming to the 8th pole, pulling away from the field impressively under a hand ride by 4 widening lengths at the 8th pole. Blushing Jim left in his wake second, then Tom and Kath, Gregory Hines, and Jetting Robert. Good looking.
I guess when you can work 5 furlongs of Santa Anita in 58 and change, you can come up here, you may be able to win. Honor and Glory is reasonably impressive here. Lucas always unveils a few of these at this meeting. Michael Tabor, the owner, I do believe he owned the Derby winner. D. Wayne Lucas and Mike Smith. 340, 270, 250. Blushing Jim is second, 470, 440. Jetting Robert, 940. Exacta 611's 15. Quinella 611, 990. The double 36, 880. A lot of short prices in there. Here's the third. They're going 7 furlongs. These are 3 and up. Claiming tags $50,000. A lot of your old friends in here, and many of them getting played.
Okay. And they're off. Concord's Prospects, Boom Towner, and Cold Execution getting out fast. Toward the outside, Brilliant Patriot is also right there. And then it's Faversham who's come out running 5th, and on the inside, Blum gone 6th by 3. Then it's Trefa running in 7th. At the back of the pack are Rethink and Gifted Sun. Off the backstretch, Concord's Prospect, Cold Execution, and Brilliant Patriot in between them getting to a short lead. Then it's Blum Gone. In between horses is Boom Towner, and to their outside, Faversham with a clear aim. Then a big break back to Trefois, and even farther behind, Rethink and Gifted Sun. A fast and furious first quarter here of 22 1/5 seconds, hotly contested, with Brilliant Patriot fighting his way to a short lead over Cold Execution, who's trying to stay with him. Concord's Prospect is tailed off into third. Boom Towner beginning to hit his best stride now as they approach the top of the stretch. Blum gone 5th toward the inside. Farther back, a weakening Faversham and Rethink. At the top of the stretch, Brilliant Patriot has fought his way to a 1-length lead, but Boom Towner and Frank Lovato coming to him. Boom Towner trying to lug in. On the far outside, here comes Blum Gone and Rethink closing late under Pat Day. Rethink hard charging to the lead. Day timed it to the second.
This one can make you rethink your figures. Here's a horse hasn't been out since December. Comes up from Maryland. Catherine Voss is the trainer. The Magellan O'Brien, the owner. C. Weiskarber saddle. Pat Day is up. Big balloons for this one. Rethink it again. 3140, 1160, 670. Boomtowner lugging in as usual, 550, 360. Brilliant Patriot, 420. 3/6 Exactas, 158. The double, that's the 2-3 double, second and third race, 66.50. Here's the fourth. They're going a mile and 3/16. They're on the Mellon. That's the outer turf course. Fillies and Mares 3 and up. Now is a race Southern Maiden are claiming. Betting a few of them, primarily 5 Bella Dawn and 6 Francia.
And they're off. Silver Decor trying for the lead under Jorge Chavez. Riverboat Princess is gathered back to run along in second. Sweet Sultana tucked away in a cozy spot in behind them, and Clovis Point running a bit keenly on the outside. Then Bella Dawn now edging up to be fourth. Sweet Sultana gathered back to be fifth. And at the back of the pack are Morning Galaxy, Petunia, and Francia. Around the clubhouse turn, Silver Decor with a clear lead. Riverboat Princess running second, and Clovis Point in hand third behind a tepid first quarter of 23 4/5 seconds. Bella Dawn on the outside edging up fourth, a length and a half back to Morning Galaxy, who's running along in mid-pack and on the outside. Sweet Sultana with a ground-saving trip so far. Petunia second to last. Francia content with that position at the back after a half mile of 49 1/5 seconds. The pace has been easy, but the tempo quickening now as Riverboat Princess assumes the lead. Silver Decor trying to counter and come back. With a half mile to run, Silver Decor comes on again to reclaim the lead into the far turn. Riverboat Princess running in second. On the inside, Clovis Point right up there third. To her outside, it's Bella Dawn fourth. 2 lengths back, Sweet Sultana guided off the rail for running room. Petunia now making steady progress but forced to go wide. Then it's Morning Galaxy, and 3 lengths back to Francia. It's wide open at the top of the stretch. Silver Decor the leader. There's room for Clovis Point coming up the inside now. Sweet Sultana coming with her run. Bella Dawn not doing enough yet. Toward the inside, Francia searching for a way through and comes charging on now. It's still Silver Decor in front. Francia and Sweet Sultana. Here's the line. Silver Decor gets
Good
there.
finish in this race. These horses, probably none of them really wanted to go this far, so the race was wide open at the top of the stretch. Silver Decor, perfect position. That's Gary Siaka, the Windbound Farm, and Jorge Chavez. Dangerous combination if you're betting against them. They're in the winner's circle, and this horse returns 1540, 730, and 490. Francia runs very well. $5, 340. Sweet Sultana, 350. Exacta, 2677. Quinella, 2662, 3860. Pick 3, 632, $534. On to the fifth. This is 7 furlongs. These are maiden fillies and mares 3 and up. They are state breds. There is a heavy, heavy favorite in here. The number 9 Skaters Luster, Jean-Luc Samin.
Let's get tied on.
And they're off. Pabst Ginger getting out fast, and there goes Lyric Opera up to grab a short lead. Skaters Luster is flashing early speed along with Windy Flight, Lil Miss Gia, and Pabst Ginger, and down on the inside, Gabrielle Danielle. A real scramble on for the lead. Lil Miss Gia short lead. Skaters Luster right there. Gabrielle Danielle on the inside third. On the far outside, Lyric Opera running in fourth. Windy Flight the Gray is now fifth. Pabst Ginger sixth. Lucy Brown seventh by 2. On the outside, Time for Another running in 7th position, followed by Ms. Off the Cuff running in 8th. Follow the Flag is 9th. Stormy Dawn is 10th. Dominated Away is 11th on the inside. 5 lengths to South Slope. And another big break back to Fighting Knight, who's been outrun badly behind a quarter of 22 4/5 seconds. And now the field rounding the far turn. Skaters Luster trying to fend off the challenges of Lil Miss Gia. Lyric Opera is right there with them on the outside. 3 lengths back to Gabrielle Danielle, working harder now in 4th. Lucy Brown takes to the outside in 5th. Follow the Flag beginning to pick it up now. 6th on the far outside as the field hits the top of the stretch. Skaters Luster came wide. Lyric Opera right there with her. Lil Miss Gia continues to fight on valiantly at the inside. Those 3 will arrive at the 8th pole together, and it's another 4 lengths back to Follow the Flag 4th. Down to the final 16th. It's still Lil Miss Gia, Skaters Luster, and Lyric Opera. The 3 of them continue to fight all the way down to the line, and Lil Miss Gia under a hustling Jorge
Big
Chavez.
form reversal here. Little Miss Gia was buried last time out by Skaters Luster. Goes to Chavez today. Siaka saddles. They win a consecutive double. Skaters Luster can't even finish second. And as my in-home betting colleague Paul Kornman detected in my post-race prattle, I bet the second horse, Lyric Opera, to win and use it in the exacta with the favorite Skaters Luster. I got nothing. The winner is the number 5, Little Miss Gia, JLG Stable, Gary Siaka Chavez back-to-back. 24, 12, 24, 40. Lyric Opera, 33, 20, and 820. Skaters Luster, 230. That exacta, 511. 596, the triple 511.9, $2,513.
Join Sports Channel and play at McDonald's Hoop It Up, the NBA's official 3-on-3 basketball tournament happening at the Nassau Coliseum on August 19th and 20th, and the South Street Seaport on September 9th and 10th. Hoop It Up is for everyone 10 and older. Your team plays against teams of equal ability and size for fun prizes and free gifts. Get an entry form by calling this number, or get an entry form at these sponsored locations: McDonald's, Foot Locker, PC Richard & Son, and Tri-State GMC truck dealers. The McDonald's Hoop It Up is presented by Sports Channel and the New York Post.
Hoop it up, because everything else was just practice.
August on Sports Channel is gonna be hot. The Mets collide with the Phillies, Giants, Reds, and more. Our tennis lineup heats up with the U.S. Open tune-ups, the Hamlet Cup, and exclusive coverage of the Pathmark Classic. At the Plate with Rusty Staub has a great menu of guests. Halls of Fame profiles early wins. Thoroughbred Action delivers daily racing results from Saratoga. Saturday nights, catch Summer Racing 95 from Yonkers. It's all coming your way in August on Sports Channel.
Here's the 6. This is 7 furlongs. These are fillies and mares 3 and up. Now one is a 3 other than. The favorites on the outside, the number 5, Nora Keon with Mike Smith.
And they're off. Nora Quillen getting out to the lead and getting out there rather easily. Very Sentimental down inside, and Class Chris right alongside her. Another 2.5 back to Tail of the Yukon and Me My. Up the backstretch, Nora Quillen out there breezing along by 2.5 lengths. Class Chris running second, Very Sentimental third, 2.5 to Tail of the Yukon. Me My at the back of the pack, 21-4. Very sharp first quarter, in fact, with Nora Quillen setting the pace. Nora Quillen there by 2 lengths at the half-mile pole. Class Chris still chasing second by 3, Very Sentimental third, Tail of the Yukon, and Me My still at the back of the pack. Around the far turn, Nora Quillen a bit wide, but in front by 2. Hugging the fence is Class Chris. The half in 44-3. Eye-opening fractions here by Nora Quillen, who will turn for home with the lead. Nora Quillen still well out from the rail. A huge opening for Class Chris to her inside, and on the outside, Very Sentimental. Nora Quillen relinquishes the lead to hard-charging Class Chris. Here's Very Sentimental mounting a late bid, and Me My down on the rail. But it's Class Chris under Craig Perrette holding them all off through the last furlong. Class Chris wins by 3.
Nora Keelan has a lot of quit in her to make her a heavy favorite, and she cooperates quite willingly, giving up the lead. And it's Classy Chris, Fred Hooper, Jimmy Picou picking up their second at the Spa. Craig Perrette was aboard. Classy Chris returning, 9, 550, 290. Very Sentimental, off came the bar shoe, improved considerably, 9, 10, 330. Nora Keelan hangs in there, 220. The exacta 3-2, $86. Here's the 7th. They're going a mile and a 16th. Melon Turf, 3 and up. Now one is a 2 other than Maiden are claiming. The favorite here, the number 5, Doughty, Jerry Bailey.
And they're off. Senior Doria, Doughty, there goes No Secrets streaking toward the lead. No Secrets gunned to the front under Richard Migliori, clears the field and grabs the inside. Just in behind, it's Jump the Shadow, running second. Spanish Charge between horses. Basin Lane caught 3 wide. A break of 4 to Doughty and Senior Doria. A break of 2 to Val's Prince and Jets Over Miami. Another 2 to the trailer's Sunshine Spirit. Into the backstretch, Migliori trying to throttle down the speed of No Secrets after a very quick first quarter. 22 and 4/5 seconds. A taxing opening quarter there for No Secrets. And Basin Lane is chasing the fast pace. Spanish Charge on the outside, 3rd, and Jump the Shadow, a ground-saving 4th. 3 lengths back to Doughty, 5th, and 6 lengths behind with a half-mile to run. Senior Doria follows Doughty. Then Val's Prince, and at the back, Jets Over Miami and Sunshine Spirit. Around the far turn, No Secrets ran a half in 45-4 and still leads at the midway point on the turn. Basin Lane in hot pursuit now, but No Secrets is building a bigger lead, 3 lengths at the quarter pole. Basin Lane under the whip and working hard in second, and Doughty is put to a full-out drive under Jerry Bailey. Down to the last furlong, Migliori's all over No Secrets, imploring him for one more furlong, but Doughty has the momentum on the outside. No Secrets game, Doughty overtaking No Secrets in the shadow of the wire. Doughty wins. 3/4 of a length. No Secrets.
Doughty, one of those rare Alan Paulson horses, not by theatrical. This is an Irish River colt. Going to win it as the favorite. That's not a surprise. How about the horse running second off those fractions? No Secrets. What do you think this state bred's going to be when it meets state breds on the turf in a week or two? Doughty gets it. Alan Paulson, Billy Mott, and Jerry Bailey. 480, 390, 290. No Secrets. 1480, 810. Val's Prince 490. 5.9 exacta, 132.80. Triple 594, $926. On to the 8th. This is a mile and 1/8. Fillies and Mares 3 and up. Now won 22,000 twice in 94, 95. Favorites here: the 8 Unlawful Behavior with Pazua, the 10 Sway Baby Sway with Mike Smith.
And they're off. Dancer's Gate getting out quickly. In mid-pack, Beloved Bee is there. Sway Baby Sway will be caught very wide. Unlawful Behavior now gunning for the front, and down inside it's Dance Account into the first turn. And Unlawful Behavior gets to the rail and to the lead by 2. Sway Baby Sway now second on the outside. Dance Account third toward the rail. Beloved Bee is running along in fourth. Open Toe fifth by 5. And Dancer's Gate trails the field behind an opening quarter of 23 and 2. Into the backstretch. Unlawful Behavior goes out winging, opening up 6 lengths on the field. Sway Baby Sway running second, and Dance Account third toward the inside. Beloved Bee being nudged along in fourth. Down inside, Open Toe, now about 10 lengths from the front runner, still trailing the field, Dancer's Gate. The half went in 46 and 4/5 seconds. Julio Pazua still out there winging with Unlawful Behavior. 5.5 lengths in front with a half mile to run. Dance Account running second and now beginning to whittle away at the lead of the front runner. Sway Baby Sway on the outside third. Then Beloved Bee, followed by Open Toe. Another 3 to Dancer's Gate. Around the far turn, Unlawful Behavior's lead has evaporated. Dance Account comes charging on through. Sway Baby Sway coming 3 wide. Just in behind them, it's Beloved Bee. Off the turn into the stretch. Dance Account and Unlawful Behavior on even terms as they come down to the last furlong. Sway Baby Sway has flattened out third, and Dancer's Gate. It is still Unlawful Behavior, who's absolutely tenacious on the lead. Pat Day finally resorting to the whip on Dance Account, but Unlawful Behavior, who looked like he was going to get beat at the top of the stretch, wins by a length at a 6 or 7.
Well, they said the lead was evaporating. It didn't evaporate very much. Unlawful Behavior finds another gear, even as Pat Day comes up to challenge with Dance Account. Frank Martin, Viola Summer, Julio Pazua have done rather well. I think the last 5 horses that Julio rode for Frank, I think he won with 2 or 3 of them. And Unlawful Behavior repeats her last race, gets the money. Viola Summer, Frank Martin, Pazua, Unlawful Behavior. 650, 380, and 3. Dance Account, 7 and 420. Beloved Bee, 430. Exacta 86 is $63. Triple 867 274.50. Pick 3 358 103.50. Here's the pick 6 information. Nobody. 21 tickets had 5, $675. Over 42,000 into tomorrow. Here's today's feature, third running Screen King, $50,000 added. It's a sprint for 3-year-olds, the heavy favorite. Number 2, Mr. Greeley, Julie Crone.
They're off. King's Fiction got out quickly. There goes Lord Carson. Lord Carson will emerge with the early lead. Mr. Greeley down inside. Deputy Bodman had to check there momentarily. And it's 3 lengths back to Fort Stockton. And King's Fiction out-sprinted behind Lord Carson, who opens up by 2.5. Mr. Greeley second. And Deputy Bodman third on the outside. Rattled off a quarter in 21 and 4. A sizzling opening panel there by Lord Carson, who blazes the way round the far turn. Leading by 3 lengths, Mr. Gritty second. Fort Stockton coming up the inside third. Deputy Bodman back to fourth. And another 4 back to the trailer, King's Fiction. Moving toward the top of the stretch, Lord Carson rolls past the quarter pole with Fort Stockton closing in to Mr. Greeley third. The half 44 and 3 coming down to the last furlong. It's Lord Carson still there. Fort Stockton giving his all. Mr. Greeley fading. King's Fiction closing down to the last 16th. Lord Carson full tilt on the lead. Here comes King's Fiction, who is flying. Here's the line. King's Fiction won.
Yesterday, it was Jerkins on the lead. Pat Day comes by, Jerkins was on the lead with Classy Mirage. Pat Day comes by riding for Lucas, and he wins the race. Today, Lucas is on the lead. Pat Day comes by riding for Jerkins, and he wins the race. Mr. Greeley did not really fire at all. Lord Carson outbroke that one. King's Fiction, though, comes from behind. Alan was very emotional with this win. Hardwick Stable, Alan Jerkins, Pat Day up. 21.60, 7.90, 6.90, big show prices. Lord Carson, 6.10, 7.30. Fort Stockton, 8.20. The 5-4 exact in a field of 5, $100. On to the finale, a mile and 1/8. Fillies and Mares, 3 and up. Claiming tags, 25,000. The favorite here, the number 2, Grab the Glory with Richard Migliori.
And they're off. Bounding Believer off to a clumsy start, and Frisky's Finale comes out running up to get the lead. Frisky's Finale in front. Grab the Glory running second. On the outside, Muko is third, with Georgia Anna a ground-saving fourth, and Senora Palma between horses. Bounding Believer moving up now on the outside after that stumbling start. At the back of the pack in the early going are Forever Proud, Lois's Flag, and Believe in Doris. The opening quarter went in 24 3/5 seconds. Frisky's Finale on the lead by a measured length, with Grab the Glory sitting sweetly in second. Bounding Believer off last is now third. Muko running in fourth while in between horses. And on the inside, Georgia Anna is now fifth. Then it's Senora Palma, Lois's Flag, followed by Forever Proud. Still at the back of the pack is Believe in Doris. The half in 49 2/5 seconds. They're midway down the backstretch now. And here's Grab the Glory to the neck of Frisky's Finale. Bounding Believer right there third at the half-mile pole. A break of 3 to Lois's Flag, who is advancing steadily into fourth. Muko between horses, and down inside Senora Palma. Then farther back, Georgia Anna, who's losing ground now. Moving round that one goes Forever Proud, and the trailer is Believe in Doris. Coming to the top of the stretch, Grab the Glory has grabbed the lead. It's Grab the Glory in front. Frisky's Finale second, Bounding Believer third, Lois's Flag fourth. Forever Proud floated 5 or 6 wide into the stretch. They're coming down toward mid-stretch, and Migliori getting more out of Grab the Glory. Grab the Glory now opening up by 3 lengths. And then it's Bounding Believer running second, followed on the outside by Muko. They're coming down to the line, and it's all Grab the Glory to a decisive victory here. Bounding Believer was second, and Muko was third.
This could bring them back tomorrow. Favorite over second favorite in the last race. Not difficult to come up with, but hard to play these. They're all off layoffs that you don't know if they're at peak form. However, around the 8th pole, you know, Grab the Glory. She was ready. My Paradise Farms, Mitch Friedman, and Richard Migliori. 610, 320, and 3. Bounding Believer, 380, 320. Muko, 510 to show. 2-1 exacta, they're in order, 1740, triple 217, 102, double 52, 99.50. Good evening, welcome to the show. Thunder Rumble, Thunder Puddles, Thunder Gulch. We're surrounded by thunder, but so far, nothing's happened. The fans are out of here, but there is one idiot still here, and that's me, and I'm going to give you the 9 right after this. Here's the opener today. The 6.5 furlongs, Fillies and Mares 3 and up. They're state breds, non-winners to 2. The favorite is the number 9, Personal Coup, with Steve Radowski.
And they're off. Sarah Paul, Personal Coup, Dinastra's Dancer, and Arctic Experience scrimmaging for the early lead. Dinastra's Dancer and Arctic Experience. And here's Casey's Favor to make it 3. Casey's Favor streaking up the inside to get a short lead now. Arctic Experience running second by 2. Dinastra's Dancer third. Angel Kate fourth. Personal Coup fifth on the outside. Loveline's Gold is running in mid-pack now. On the far outside, everything's okay. Now running in 7th, followed by Fly to the Gold, who is 8th. Sarah Paul is 9th on the outside, followed by 26 Carats, and far behind the rest is Devilette. A hard-fought first quarter of 22 seconds flat as the field rounds the far turn. Casey's Favor opening up here, but on the outside, Personal Coup to the attack as they move toward the quarter pole. Angel Kate now 3rd toward the inside. Dinastra's Dancer is 4th. Arctic Experience has plummeted to the back of the pack as the field turns for home. Casey's Favor driving on the lead. Personal Coup in a full-out drive, but second on the outside. Angel Kate down toward the rail, running 3rd, but laboring at this point. And it's another 2 lengths back to everything's okay, 4th. Devilette making a belated bid down to the last 16th. Personal Coup charging hard and collars Casey's Favor at the 16th pole, and Personal Coup will win it.
Casey's Favor, who won as a good thing her first time out, then threw in a clinker. Looked like she was going to bring this one home under Santos, but the favorite, Personal Coup, takes aim at her and outgames her in the stretch. Bruce Anderson, owner, trainer Steve Radowski, 6'10", 360, 280. Casey's Favor, 12 and 720. Devilette, 580. The 9-3, $54.50. The second race is a sprint. It's for maiden filly 2-year-olds, and there's a first to hear from Mr. Lucas. Karen Fruits, that's going off at 1-2 with Pat Day.
And they're off. Holy Bola getting out first. The Sky's the Limit is also right there. In between those two, it's Cox's Fastest. Then Seattle Encounter, Come Casual. Karen Fruits came off running in 6th. Passing her now is Top Secret. And the trailer is Lucy's Niece. Up the backstretch. And it's the Sky's the Limit, who is the leader into the far turn. In between horses, Cox's Fastest running 2nd. On the inside, Holy Bola drops back. Top Secret moving round. Top Secret now running in 3rd. Holy Bola back to 4th. Come Casual running in 5th. And then at Seattle Encounter, Karen Fruits, who was running very awkwardly in the beginning of the race, now beginning to hit her stride. And on the far outside, Lucy's Niece is the trailer. They're coming to the top of the stretch. The Sky's the Limit is the leader as they hit the top of the stretch. Cox's Fastest is running 2nd. Then it's a break of 4. Back to Come Casual running 3rd. And Karen Fruits is 5th at the 8th pole. The Sky's the Limit, the leader by a length. On the outside, Cox's Fastest is determined. Here comes Cox's Fastest, who gets another gear for the last 100 yards to win. Cox's Fastest was the best.
My 1,000 years on the racetrack, I've seen very few 2-year-old filly first starters go off at 1-2. I just saw one today, and she's up the track. May win the Alabama next year. She's up the track today. They all better because she had this bullet work out of the gate at Saratoga. This horse coming to the winner's circle worked on the same day out of the gate, 30 of 100 seconds, I think, slower. Cox's Fastest was faster today. Flying Z Stable, Jose Martin, Jerry Bailey, 1488 and 630. Sky's the Limit, 980, 720. Come Casual, 730. 6-8 Exacta, 7150. Quinella 6886, $35. Double 9 and 6, 6450. Here's the third. This is a sprint. These are 3-year-olds. Claiming tag 75,000. The favorites on the rail. Win with Walker with Mike Smith.
And they're off. Stroller hustled away from the gate on the far outside. Win with Walker dashing up the rail, up the backstretch. Win with Walker coming through on the inside. Stroller well out into the track. And those two in a speed duel early with Judge Me Not up close running in 3rd. And it's 2 lengths back. Dice Flow moves to 4th. Sutter's Pond 5th toward the inside. Finchville is 6th. And Bingo Time treading the field as they hit the half-mile pole. A frantic first quarter in 21 and 4. Stroller leads the way into the far turn. On the inside, it's Win with Walker. Judge Me Not right there running 3rd. 4 lengths back to Sutter's Pond fourth, Dice Flow fifth, then Bingo Time, and Finchville at the back of the pack. Moving toward the top of the stretch, Stroller continues to blaze the way and opens up by 2, ran a half in 45-1. Stroller heading for mid-stretch with the lead by 1.5 lengths. Win with Walker still in hot pursuit, running second. Dice Flow is coming up the inside. Judge Me Not a weakening fourth. Finchville is fifth in Sutter's Pond. 16th pole. It's still Stroller. Stroller coming down to the line to win it. Stroller has it wire to wire by 2.5 at the end.
There's a two-speed number. Stroller was just as fast as Win with Walker was out of the gate. They opened that gate, and Louis Belmonte came out like an eager beaver. That was it for Win with Walker, although he does hang in for the place. The RK stable, Rene Arrea, Louis Belmonte. Stroller, 21-730, 350. Win with Walker, 330, 240. Finchville, 260 to show. Exacta may look light, but it's a two-speed number, the 7-1, 51.50. On to the inner turf course. Bound a 16th. He's a 3 and up. Now one is a 2, other than Maiden claiming a starter. Heavy favorite here. Debonair Dan, Jorge Chavez.
And they're off. Debonair Dan going for the early lead. 30 Good Ones is there, and the Star Forevermore will come up toward the front as they move by us for the first time. Debonair Dan a short lead, but a Star Forevermore is right there to push him along, and 30 Good Ones 3 wide heading for the turn. A break of 3 to Crary, and United Congress up relatively close to the pace. Another 2 back to Super 25, a ground-saving 6, Check Ride 7th, Comstock Load is 8th, followed by Mining Pass and Stretch running Henry S. Making their way into the backstretch, and it's Debonair Dan dashing away by 2.5 lengths. A Star Forevermore running second. And just off them, it's Crary to the inside, 30 Good Ones on the outside, and a hard-held United Congress. United Congress under a stranglehold there by John Velasquez. Then a break of 2 back to Super 25 and Check Ride, then Comstock Load. At the back, Henry S. and Mining Pass. Those 2 about 9 or 10 from the lead. Heading for the far turn, Debonair Dan committed to the front, still in charge. They're 1.5 lengths. 30 Good Ones running second. On the inside, Crary running in third. Now John Velasquez gives United Congress some rain. And in between horses, Check Ride, Comstock Load, moving up 4 wide. Henry S. getting within striking range. As the field turns for home, it's Debonair Dan still in front. 30 Good Ones, Check Ride to the attack. Crary down inside. Then Comstock Load and Henry S. at the 8th pole. Debonair Dan still there. Chavez goes to that whip. Here comes Comstock Load and Check Ride. It's still Debonair Dan fending off Check Ride and Comstock Load. Debonair Dan goes wire to wire. Won by 3/4 of a length.
Legitimate favorite here, Debonair Dan, but almost gets caught by Check Ride. Debonair Dan a little more class than these, gets a nice trip, wires the field. Lead for Coik, the hot team, Gary Siaka, Jorge Chavez, 370, 290, 260, Check Ride 520, 410, Comstock Load 350, 3-1 Exacta 2160, Quinella 1331, 1660, pick 3, 6, 7, and 3, $403. The 5th's a sprint. These are 3-year-old fillies, non-winners of 2 races. They're betting quite a few of them, but they settled on the rail. Crafty Casa with Julie Crone.
They're off. And there goes Love to Watch Her Strut, springing right to the front. My Bride Barbara is there. Hurricane Cat flashing early speed. Then Crafty Casa 4th toward the inside. Verdant Valley on the far outside 5th. Exposed between horses along with River Boogie and Good and Gorgeous. And behind that group, it's Madame Adolphe, who's running in 9th position toward the back of the pack, along with Surprise Girl and Nubbins. Passing the half-mile pole, My Bride Barbara zipped a 1/4 in 21-4. My Bride Barbara by 2.5, rounding the far turn. Love to Watch Her Strut in hot pursuit second. Crafty Casa now kicking in, coming up the inside. Hurricane Cat in between horses running in 4th. Verdant Valley is 4 wide in 5th. Then farther back, Madame Adolphe 6 toward the inside. My Bride Barbara going very wide into the stretch. Still clear by 2.5 lengths. Crafty Casa down inside. Now switch to the outside for the run into the last furlong. But My Bride Barbara giving them the slip. My Bride Barbara opening up 5 impressive lengths here. Crafty Casa has flattened out. Then Madame Adolphe and Hurricane Cat all left reeling behind My Bride Barbara. Sharp in victory today. She won by 6.
It looked like she was blowing the turn, My Bride Barbara, but Gary Siaka trains her. By the time Robbie Davis got her straightened out, she found another gear and ran away and hit from the field. The Windbound Farms, Gary Siaka, consecutive double for him. Robbie Davis on this one, My Bride Barbara, 8:45, 64:30. Hurricane Cat, 11:28:10. Madame Adolphe, 7:10 to show. 4-3 exactas, 80-50. Triple 4-3-2, 369.50. Mile 16th Melon Turf, that's the outer one. These are 3 and up. Now one is of 19,200 on the turf since September 5th, 94. Lukewarm favorite here is the number 6, Older But Smarter, with Jerry Bailey.
And they're off. Head Trip comes out for the early lead. 4-star Dave off to an uneventful start. And then it's absent-minded, Older But Smarter, and toward the outside, Rugged Bugger. Lost Soldier off a bit slowly, and the early trailer is Scott the Great. The field now moving into the first turn. Head Trip establishing the lead. 4-star Dave sitting just in behind him in the early going. Then it's absent-minded. Rugged Bugger caught 3 wide round the first turn. Older But Smarter is under a hard hold. Lost Soldier to his inside. And 9-year-old Scott the Great is the trailer as they begin their run up the backstretch. Solid first quarter, 23 seconds flat. Head Trip the leader, and the venerable 4-star Dave sitting just in behind him. Rugged Bugger running third. Lost Soldier making headway from the inside. In and among horses is Older But Smarter. Absent-minded second to last. Scott the Great trails the field. Tight pack, 6 lengths from front to back. Head Trip on front. A half mile, demanding one it was. 46 1/5 seconds. It is Head Trip the leader. 4-star Dave trying to keep that 9-year-old streak alive as they're on the far turn. He's right there in a perfect striking position. Lost Soldier third toward the inside. Here comes Older But Smarter with a rush to engage the leader. Head Trip as the field turns for home. Head Trip in front. Older But Smarter right there. 4-star Dave is third and in between horses at the top of the stretch. Lost Soldier coming up a narrow opening toward the inside. They're in the last furlong. Head Trip short lead. Lost Soldier, Older But Smarter on the outside. 4-star Dave is giving his best, but his best will be not good enough this afternoon. It's Head Trip, Lost Soldier, and here's Older But Smarter surging at the end. Older But Smarter wins by a head. Head Trip.
Even the fans didn't bet 4-star Dave today. The old 10-year-old coming back on 5 days rest finishes 4th. Meeting is still young. Older But Smarter had a lot of trouble on the turn. Jerry really had to fight the horse who was clipping other horses. When he finally got him out, drives home. Might have won it easier, but he wins it. Vincent Recchio, Buckley Tag, and Jerry Bailey, Older But Smarter. Sounds like 4-star Dave. 7:30, 370, 290. Head Trip the speed, 4:10, 3:10. Lost Soldier blocked on the inside, 670, 6'2", 22.60. Here's the 7. This is a sprint. Fillies and Mares 3 and up. Not won 18,900 twice in 94, 95. The favorite, the number 5, Tassie Bell, with Pat Day.
They're off. Tassie Bell gets out first on the inside. Through the door is there. Future Answer and Miss Prospector at the back confidentially, and she rides to up the backstretch. And the leader is Through the Door. Through the Door by a half length. Tassie Bell pressing right there on the outside. Then Future Answer, Miss Prospector's up close to the pace 4th. She rides tonight and confidentially at the back of the pack. The opening quarter, 22-1. And Tassie Bell takes charge. Tassie Bell by a half length. Through the Door trying to come back to her. Through the Door and Tassie Bell take their tussle to the top of the stretch, with Miss Prospector revving up on the outside 3rd. She rides tonight, advances to 4th. Future Answer back to 5th. Confidentially within striking range 6th. Coming down toward mid-stretch now. It's Through the Door. Here comes Miss Prospector on the outside. On the inside comes She Rides Tonight. Tassie Bell continues the fight on, and confidentially kicking in. Wide open here with a 16th to come. Here comes Confidentially, roaring on the outside. She rides tonight on the wire confidentially. Craig Perrette timed it.
Four of them battling for the lead, and Confidentially under Craig Perrette comes by at the last few jumps and cuts off the jam. She beat Patsy Bell last time out at Ellis Park, but they kind of ignored her here. 2-1 in the morning line. Joan Thompson, Carl Napska, Craig Perrette, Confidentially. 970, 470, 310. She rides tonight. You can't throw out Gary Siak. His horses are moving up. They like the water up here. 690, 480. Miss Prospector, 460, 64, $73. Here's the feature today. This is the 7th running Saratoga Budweiser Breeders' Cup. 150,000, mile and a 16th on the Mellon turf. Fillies and mares 3 and up. And if it's the feature race, the favorite must be Alan Jerkins. He trains Caress with Robbie Davis.
And they're off. Irish Linnet and Venista getting out quickly. Caress came off to a good beginning. Weekend Madness is reined in. Alcila moving on the far outside. Coronation Cup and Allez Latois take up positions at the back of the pack as the field moves into the first turn. And using her ample tactical speed, Irish Linnet has established the lead by a length. As Venista sits in second, and the favorite Caress is in hand and third on the outside. Weekend Madness is a hard-held fourth behind what appears to be an easy early pace. Then Alcila, Coronation Cup, and Allez Latois. The opening quarter went in 23 2/5 seconds. Moving down the backstretch, Irish Linnet still in control. Venista putting pressure on now, and Caress is right there, unhurried but up close. Weekend Madness drafting in behind horses running fourth. Alcila's kept within 5 lengths of the lead with a half-mile to run. And then it's Coronation Cup. Allez Latois trails the field, but within striking range. They ran a half in 47 seconds flat. Rounding the far turn. Irish Linnet trying to go it all the way on the lead. Venista now driving. Here comes Caress mounting her bid for the lead on the outside. Weekend Madness is a threatening third. And Allez Latois. Allez Latois circling horses boldly. The field now coming into the final furlong. Irish Linnet, the rail opening up for Weekend Madness. Here she comes. Caress doing her best, but she's third. Allez Latois continues to close. And in the final 16th, it's Weekend Madness under Shane Sellers, who's taken charge. Weekend Madness, then Irish Linnet, and Allez Latois. Weekend Madness under a flawless ride by Shane Sellers.
Announced Horseshoe on again on Weekend Madness. I have no record of her having one. However, if they gave you a refund, you got a bad deal. Fortunately, we didn't give a refund. This is a rerun. Weekend Madness. She won the Saratoga Budweiser Breeders' Cup last year. New Phoenix Stable, Burt Kessinger Jr. and Shane Sellers. 1165, 10, 450. Irish Linnet, 470, 320. Allez Latois, first time out in this country, impressive, 790 to show. 5-2 exacta, 4480. 55521, 391. Pick 3665, $200.50. Pick 6, it had a carryover today. There were 3 tickets, 55,000 plus. 5 correct, 147 winners. They received $279. Now we'll go on to the last race of the day. This is a mile and an 1/8 on the inner turf. These are 3 and up. They're state breds, non-winners of a race other than the favorite, the number 8, Identity with Mike Smith.
And they're off. Top Tapper, Revolutionary Era, 4-star Brother. Down toward the inside, it's Duchess's Secret. Moving onto the line the first time. Top Tapper showing the initiative here. Out for a short lead, but 4-star Brother is gaining quickly. So is Revolutionary Era in between horses. Buy and Comply joins them now. Running 4 wide, but Buy and Comply is reined in and will look for a position saving ground. Then farther back, down on the inside, Duchess's Secret runs along in 5th. In between horses, Red Planet is now 6th. Buy and Comply got caught wide, running in 7th position now. Il Grappa is 8th. Identity in between horses, running in 9th. And on the inside, right forward is 10th. And at the back of the pack are the trailers Hello Sunshine, Ace the Test, and Skate for Joy. 22 and 3, a snappy first quarter there. Top Tapper leads the way by 3. 4-Star Brother running along in second, 2 lengths back. On the outside, it's Revolutionary Era in third. Duchess's Secret fourth. Red Planet fifth and moving through between horses. Buying Complies sixth and gaining on the outside. Revolutionary Era backing up quickly. Identity moving around that one. And on the far outside, Hello Sunshine is gaining ground right forward toward the rail. Followed by Ace the Test, Il Grappa. And the trailer is Skate for Joy. Around the far turn. And 4-Star Brother coming to the net up Top Tapper. Top Tapper cuts the corner. 4-Star Brother right there on the outside. And Identity rallies now third. Farther back, Red Planet running in fourth. And Duchess's Secret down to the last furlong. Top Tapper very game. On the outside, Identity sweeping past to take the lead. It's Identity in front. 4-Star Brother and Top Tapper. It'll be that way under the line. Identity, a clear-cut decision.
A lot of fans like to end the day with favorite. I may not be among them, but maybe you'll come back tomorrow if you hit this one. These are the 2 favorites in order. Identity, Kenneth Avanzino, Tom Skiffington, Mike Smith. Perfect trip behind the 2 of them. Goes right by the 2 leaders and wins as the chalk, returning 610, 350, 280. 4-Star Brother, 490, 390. Toe Tapper, the Top Tapper, I'm sorry, despite the fractions, hangs on well, 560. The 8-1 Chalk, $22. Triple 814, 129. Double 5 and 8, 53.50. The first of 7 cope with me, 12 Fortune 1. Move on to the 4th and scratch the 1, share the fun. On to the 5th race, take out 14 Sophie's Friend through 18 Nordic Surprise and then take out the number 20 Private Plan. In the 7th race, take out the 6th Time for a Thrill. And in the 9th, scratch the 13 Patty's Purse all the way through to number 19 Personal Nurse. We have the Sword Dancer tomorrow, and I'm happy to say, at least at the moment, it looks pretty good here. We won't be hit by the rain. We've been very lucky all along. Let's hope we continue that way. Big race tomorrow, $250,000 Sword Dancer. We'll see you then. Good night. May the horse be with you. Here's the opener today. This is a sprint. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, claiming tags 25 down. Favorite here, lukewarm at that, is the number 5 Midway Gal with Eddie Maple.
They're off. Muddle getting out quickly. Down on the inside, Jake's Sister up and after the lead. French Water is there, so is Promised Relic. Up the backstretch. Jake's Sister short lead. Promised Relic right there. French Water third. Midway Gal is fourth. Showsnap fifth in between horses. World Truth running in sixth. Madrona seventh on the inside. Far outside. Muddle racing in eighth position. In behind horses, Euphoric Interlude is now ninth, followed by Dixie Brat 10th. Indian Paradise is 11th, 10 lengths from the lead. And then farther back is Jean's Gray Girl racing wide round the far turn. And the trailer is Chow behind a frantic first quarter of 21 4/5 seconds. Promised Relic fighting hard to a short lead. Midway Gal right there. Jake's Sister trying to stay with them. Showsnap coming on now. Fourth on the outside. It's 5 lengths back to Madrona. Fifth toward the inside. Euphoric Interlude is sixth in between horses. Muddle taken wide. Farther back, Indian Paradise now 7 lengths from the lead. 4 of them coming to the 8th pole together. And it is Midway Gal. Midway Gal a short lead. Promised Relic couldn't keep up. Midway Gal trying to fend off Showsnap for the last 100 yards. Midway Gal digging down deep. Showsnap surging. Showsnap short lead. Midway Gal. Late move. Jean's Gray Girl. Photo finish. Jean's Gray
Richard
Girl.
McCarthy gave out the long shot Showsnap in the Paddock Club and in the Post Parade magazine. I said, holy mackerel, he's going to bring it home. But unfortunately, Jean's Gray Girl catches her. Silver Oak Stable, Gasper Mochera. That's Mike Smith paying $18.29, $65.20. McCarthy's Showsnap, 21-20, 12.80. Midway Gal, the favorite, $340. 1-9 exacta, $441. Heavy chalk in the second. It's a sprint. These are maiden 2-year-olds. A lot of money for number 7, Louis Quatorze, with Mike Smith trying to sweep the double.
They're off. Beef Chopper gets out first. Louis Quatorze is away second. Up the backstretch, Beef Chopper dashing away, clearing the field from his outside post and opening up quickly by 3.5 lengths. Louis Quatorze is second, Storm Creek third. And then it's Gray Relic fourth toward the inside. Hey You Weasel running fifth. Nello B sixth toward the inside. Hoop Tattoo moving 4 or 5 wide from seventh now. Then it's Glade shuffled back to eighth. And the trailer is Time Terminator. They're still chasing Beef Chopper. Louis Quatorze, the big favorite, right there. The quarter went in 22-1. Beef Chopper in front. Louis Quatorze breathing down his neck. 5 lengths back to Storm Creek third, followed by Hey You Weasel, who's a distant fourth. Coming to the top of the stretch, Louis Quatorze hooking up with Beef Chopper as they hit the top of the stretch. Louis Quatorze on the outside. Beef Chopper running a valiant race down at the rail, but Louis Quatorze now beginning to edge away as they reach the mid-stretch marker. Beef Chopper, the pacemaker, now fading in second, but it's a big break back to the third horse, Hey You Weasel. Coming down to the line, it will be Louis Quatorze, who wins here tonight.
This is the colt that ran into Rick Schosberg's Killer Maria's Mon, who's now a stakes winner. No Maria's Mon here. Louis Quatorze wins it. Bill Condren, Georgia Huffman, Joe Canicia, Nick Zito, Mike Smith's double. 350, 280, 250. Beef Chopper, 720, 620. Hey You Weasel, 550. 79, 3820. Quadella, 7997, 3760. Early double, Mike Smith, 17, $41.20. On to the third, a mile and 1/8. These are 3-year-old fillies. Non-winners at 2. Evan Maiden claiming a starter. The favorites on the rail. She's pretty discreet with Jerry Bailey.
And they're off. Time for Lair and Pretty Discreet break together. Spire is with them on the outside. Quaker Street's also up close as they head for the first turn. Time for Lair. Spire right there prompting the pace. Pretty Discreet tucks away in behind the front runners in third. And then it's Very True fourth. Head East running 3 wide. Quaker Street got 4 wide round the first turn. As they move midway on the turn, it's Time for Lair. Del Beckner throttling down the speed to lead by a measured length over Spire, who's in hand and restrained in second. 2.5 lengths back to Pretty Discreet, running third behind a tepid first quarter of 23 4/5 seconds. Head East is running fourth on the outside. Very True and Quaker Street are the trailers behind moderate fractions set by Time for Lair. Midway down the backstretch, Time for Lair still in front. Spire's been sitting off her throughout. 48 seconds flat for the half mile. Pretty Discreet now moving up, and on the outside, Head East right there, running in fourth. Then Very True, still second to last, Quaker Street losing ground. Into the far turn, Time for Lair, who's had the advantage, setting slow early fractions, is now pressed in earnest by Spire. Spire getting ahead in front with 3 furlongs to run. Time for Lair tries to counter. 3 lengths back to Pretty Discreet running third, another 3.5 to Very True and Head East. Moving toward the top of the stretch. Spire strong. Spire turning for home, assuming the lead. Time for Lair on the inside. Now dropping back in second. Julie Crone wanting more from Spire, and she is getting it as Spire begins to pull away, passing the 8th pole. Time for Lair running second, followed by Pretty Discreet, who is third. Coming down to the last 16th, Crone remains busy on Spire, who is home free now. Time for Lair, strictly second best today. Spire rambles
Well,
home.
you know you couldn't bet Pretty Discreet, betting a filly doing something she's never done before in her life, going 1 mile and 1/8. Well, she didn't do it. Spire, second time with blinkers, 2 in a row for this filly from the Claiborne Farm. Gorman and Billy Mott. Julie Crone up. 750, 460, 280. The speed horse hangs on. 980 and 470 for Time for Lair. Very True, $3 per show. 6-2 exact is $61. On to the fourth is a sprint. Maiden fillies and mares, 3 and up. They're only betting 2 of them. The 2 Mystery Arc and the 3 Mason Dixie. They made the 3 the favorite. Late scratch, number 6, Bask in the Heat.
And they're off. Devil's Mind gets out quickly. Frisky's Tracy came out walking. There goes Chorus Line. Chorus Line steps out to get a short lead, but Mysteriarch counters, and those 2 go head-to-head in the early going as Mason Dixie moves to third. Devil's Mind is fourth. And Frisky's Tracy, after that stutter step start, now moving to fifth. Race Silver Lady is the trailer. Up the back stretch, and there goes the favorite, Mason Dixie, sweeping to the lead. The quarter went to 22 and 3, and Mason Dixie takes control as they round the far turn. Mysteriarch now back running in second. Devil's Mine is third. Frisky's Tracy is fourth. Chorus Line plummeting to the back of the pack. Race Over Lady is the trailer. Moving toward the top of the stretch. Mason Dixie in front. Mysteriarch to take another run at her as they hit the top of the stretch. Eddie Maple takes a peek back with Mason Dixie to see that Mysteriarch is right at his throat. Mysteriarch really giving Mason Dixie a hard time here. And now Mysteriarch takes control. Mysteriarch opening up in the last furlong, leaving Mason Dixie behind. Mysteriarch is the winner.
Mysteriarch beat Mason Dixie the last time. They ran, beats her again. They still made Mason Dixie the favorite. Mysteriarch, the Godolphin stable. Kieran McLaughlin. Shane Sellers gets the winner. 6, 260, 220. Mason Dixie, 250, 210. Devil's Mine, 230. The Exacta, 23, 960. Quinella, 2332, 420. There are two pick threes. That Conso pick three with the late scratch, 766, is 1580. The actual pick three, 762, $46.20. On to the fifth. This is a mile and 3/8 on the inner turf. He's a 3 and up, claiming pegs at 50. The favorite here, the number 2, Heavy Rain.
In the gate. And they're off. Heavy Rain, there goes Dr. Disaster. Dr. Disaster immediately out to establish the lead. Jorge Chavez sends Dr. Disaster to the front at once, opening up quickly by 3.5 lengths. Heavy Rain second, Faulty Towers third, 5 lengths to Palace Line, who runs along in fourth as Dr. Disaster sets a rapid early pace. Summer Senate is running fifth on the outside. Dynamite Laugh tucked away at the inside, running in sixth, with Asco Flame seventh. Watrall, Sea Trip, and Frozen Reef lingering at the back of the pack, and stretch running Rover Boy is the trailer. Moving by us for the first time, Dr. Disaster settling down now, and scatters a gaggle of geese as he runs under the line the first time. The geese take off, and Dr. Disaster maintains his lengthy advantage. Over Faulty Towers running second. Dynamite Laugh now coming up on the outside, advancing to third position. Heavy Rain is fourth and saving ground all the way. Summer Senate in fifth. Palace Line sixth and saving ground. Asco Flame is seventh. Watrall Sea Trip eighth, followed by Frozen Reef. And at the back of the pack is Rover Boy as they make their way into the backstretch. Dr. Disaster ran a demanding half mile in 46 3/5 seconds. Taxing opening stages for Dr. Disaster as Dynamite Laugh draws in closer now, pressuring the front runner. Faulty Towers right there third. Heavy Rain only 4 lengths from the lead. Summer Senate is fifth with the half mile to run. Palace Line sixth toward the inside. Asco Flame is seventh, followed by Watrall Sea Trip. Frozen Reef within striking range, 8 lengths from what had been a very fast pace, and the trailer is Rover Boy as they round the far turn. Dr. Disaster still threatening to go all the way on the lead there by 2. Faulty Towers put to a drive under Richard Bigliori. Here comes Summer Senate, picking up horses on the outside. Asco Flame is there. Frozen Reef is kicking in. Dynamite Life is tailing off as they hit the top of the stretch. It is Dr. Disaster in front. Heavy Rain stalled in traffic. Asco Flame on the outside. Faulty Towers giving his all. On the extreme outside, it's Rover Boy. It's still Dr. Disaster. There is room for Heavy Rain. Dr. Disaster full out on the lead. Heavy Rain coming up the inside. Dr. Disaster scores.
Don't believe all those fractions. Most of them are hand time. Final time is correct. Rails are out and everything. I don't believe Dr. Disaster went 21 and change the first quarter, but I didn't believe he could hold the speed the whole mile and 3/8. I was wrong there. I think I was right about the first quarter, though. Dr. Disaster, James Olson, Dennis Bryder, Jorge Chavez. 11:45, 23:70. Heavy Rain, 3:40, 270. Faulty Towers, 390. 1-2's 41.80. Triple. Oh, OTB loves this one. The old 1-2-3, $159. Here's the 6. This is a sprint, maiden 2-year-olds. There is a heavy chalk in here, too. Number 7, Hashid with Pat Day.
And they're off. Congruent EF, and down inside Elamante is there. There goes State Prize emerging with a short lead. Gun Approval also up close. Hashid is kept close early, coming on through between horses. It's 2 lengths back to Head Minister, who's running 6th, and another 3 to Fire Sticks. Pirate Performer. Pro-Doc is the early trailer. Hashid gunning for the lead, trying to get by State Prize. Those two head-to-head now. Gun Approval shuffled back 3rd. Elamante coming on through from 4th. Then Congruent EF, Head Minister 7 lengths from the front. The others well behind. They rattled off a quarter in a contested 22 flat. Hashid in front, and Hashid strong as they near the top of the stretch. Will face a challenge from El Amante. Off the turn into the stretch. Hashid confronted by El Amante. El Amante got the lead. Hashid trying to come back. State Prize backing up. Pirate Performer down inside. Head Minister is 4th. In the final furlong, it's El Amante by a length. Hashid doing his best, but it's still second best as they come down to the line. It will be El Amante, the winner a length.
Hashid got caught in his first start, and he gets caught in his second start. He made the lead, actually, after coming from behind last time out. Today, not even as good. El Amante, they say he ran into some good ones at Churchill Downs in his debut. He beats these. Jack Smith III, Billy Mott. Billy's birthday was yesterday or today. This is his second winner so far. Jerry Bailey, 950, 310, 230. Hashid, 230, 210. Head Minister, 240. Exacta, 17. Favorites inverted, $22. On to the 7th. This is a mile and 16th Melon Turf course, 3 and up. Now winners of 3 other than. They were all over the board here. The whole field was really took some sort of money. Good betting race.
And they're off. Nickel Defense breaks alertly from the inside. Right there is Claremont Hill, and out from under. Those 3 vying for the lead as they make their way toward the first turn, but Nickel Defense with that good post and tactical speed makes the lead. There by a half length over Claremont Hill. Now Nickel Defense getting out to a 2-length advantage. Claremont Hill running 2nd. On the outside, it's out from under, running along in 3rd. Goldmine, ground saving 4th. Followed by Alfaxiu, Same Old Wish, and Flops is the early trailer. Making their way into the backstretch, Nickel Defense, Jorge Chavez trying to harness that speed. Still there, a measured length ahead of Claremont Hill, who's settled into a rhythmic beat running in 2nd, and Goldmine right there running 3rd. On the outside, out from under, is only 3 lengths from the lead as they approach the half-mile pole. Alfaxiu at the back of the pack. Same Old Wish unhurried. Flops is the trailer. But it's a tight pack that moves into the far turn, 6 lengths from front to back with Nickel Defense committed to the lead. Now getting another gear. Nickel Defense striding away to a 2-length lead. Julie Crone wanting Claremont Hill a bit closer. Goldmine has had a perfect trip so far, sitting in behind the lead. Alfaxiu trying to thread his way through, but there's nowhere to go. Here comes Same Old Wish kicking in on the far outside. They're at the top of the stretch. Nickel Defense still holding on to the lead. On the inside, here comes Goldmine. Nickel Defense still in front. Goldmine trying to come through on the inside. Those two will be head-to-head at the 16th pole. It's Nickel Defense in front. Narrow opening there for Goldmine. Goldmine, yes! Last.
Remember that filly that Mike Smith rode for Christopher Clement yesterday? Made a big sweeping move in the stake and hung. He ain't doing that today. Coming right up the hedge. Slipping by Nickel Defense. First time in this country. Goldmine. La Presla Farm, Christopher Clement. Mike Smith, Mike's 3rd. 1180, 610, 410. Nickel Defense, 780, 510. Alfaxiu, 410. 2184. The big one, mile and a half, inner turf, 21st running. Sword Dance Invitational. Grade 1. A couple of lukewarm favorites here. King's Theater from Billy Mott with Jerry Bailey. Awad from David Dunk with Eddie Maple.
And they're off. King's Theater comes off alertly, but Carey's Clown is sent to the lead at once. Carey's Clown in front. And Holy Mountain will concede the early lead. Holy Mountain taken under a hard hold by John Velasquez. King's Theater sits in behind them, gets a cozy spot inside, running third. Market Booster is fourth on the outside. Linden Lime, a ground-saving fifth. Glembera, sixth in the early going. Sentimental Moz running in seventh. Kiss and Chris is in mid-pack, running in eighth. Kosamba, ninth toward the inside. Correntino, a hard-held 10th. Followed by Sans Echo Seed, running 11th on the inside. Awad takes his usual position at the back of the pack in the early going, and Palashau will be the early trailer as Kiri's Clown leads the parade past us for the first time. Kiri's Clown, the controlling speed. Holy Mountain, once again, in hand, running in second. King's Theater right there, tucked away neatly in third with 7 furlongs to go. And on the outside, Market Booster runs along in fourth. Then it's Sentimental Moi, followed by Linden Lime, Glenberra. Kiss and Chris about 8 lengths from the moderate early pace here. Then Kusamba toward the inside. Sans Echo Seed in behind a wall of horses, followed by Correntino. Awad has only 1 horse beaten, and that is Long Shot Palashau. The opening half mile was posted in 47 1/5 seconds. Kiri's Clown continues to control the race. Still there, 3/4 of a length. There's only mild pressure so far from Holy Mountain. Market Booster. There's room at the inside for King's Theater now. King's Theater, a narrow opening there, but it closed as Kiri's Clown continues to lead the way. Kiri's Clown in front. Market Booster now taking a run for the lead with a half mile to go. Holy Mountain right there running in third. King's Theater's now 3 lengths from the lead. Linden Lime is running in 5th position. Kusamba 6 toward the inside. Glenberra racing in 7th. Awad begins the roll. There goes Awad now, passing Sentimental Moi. He's by Kiss and Chris and taking aim toward the front. 6 lengths behind as they move toward the top of the stretch. Kiri's Clown threatening to go wire to wire here. Kiri's Clown turning for home, still strong and on the lead. King's Theater trying to mount a bid. Awad continues a powerful and sustained rally on the outside and collars Kiri's Clown at the 8th pole. King's Theater looking for running room. Kiri's Clown digging down deep today. Kiri's Clown tenacious on the lead. Awad a last surge. Here's the wire and a classy effort from Kiri's Clown.
Mary Kay Johnson can relax. Phil is off the schneid here and off with a vengeance, winning the Grade 1 Sword Dancer with his best horse. Kiri's Clown, his man Mike Luzzy up. They won in New Hampshire. They're winning at Saratoga. And also given out by Richard McCarthy. Louis the Clocker liked it. Hope you did too, and we're glad for Phil. Nobody we like more, as you know, if you watch this show. Cobble View Stable, Sulamar Stable, Phil Johnson, Mike Luzzy. 30, 40, 16, 10, 20. It's a course record. Awad, everything he could do, couldn't catch the speed. 450, 320, King's Theater 410. The exacta 7-6, 156.50. Triple 763, 709. Pick 3, 127, 765. On to, I'm sorry, the pick 6, there was 1 winner. That 1 winner was at Laurel Racetrack. I know Andy Byers there, but somehow I don't think so. Maybe. 86,517. 5 correct, 27 tickets, 1,068. Here's the 9th, a mile and 1/8 on the Mellon turf. Fillies and mares, 3 and up. These are state breds, now winners of the race are the maiden acclaiming favorite. The number 1, Simply Pleasant. Number 4, Lamplight.
And they're off. Go-Go Gerber is going for the lead. Bit of powder there on the outside as they move by us for the first time. It's Go-Go Gerber. Gun to the front there by 2. Bit of powder and Hold You in close pursuit, running 2nd and 3rd. Simply Pleasant is now 4th. Then it's Lamplight 5th toward the inside. Katie's Flag running in 6th. Aiden's Breath checked repeatedly in 7th. Real Talc now moving up to be 6th to the outside. Katie's Flag is now 7th. Aiden's Breath checked back into 8th. And then it's Untold Secret running 9th at the outside. And a break of 3 back to Funky Diva, who's followed by Peacock Plume, and a big break back to Rhubob's Pride, who trails the field. Moving up the backstretch at a solid pace here, and there goes Bit of Powder to get on even terms with Go-Go Gerber. Go-Go Gerber in front, but under hard pressure from Bit of Powder. 2.5 lengths back to a tracking Simply Pleasant 3rd. Real Talc advancing to 4th. Hold You back to fifth, 2.5 lengths back. Lamplight running sixth with the half-mile to go. Aiden's Breath beginning to pick up on the inside, followed by Katie's Flag. Around the far turn, and it is Bit of Powder now resting the lead as Go-Go Gerber begins to retreat. On the outside, here's Simply Pleasant. Moving toward the top of the stretch, Simply Pleasant on the outside, getting a short lead at the quarter pole. Real Talc threatening on the far outside. Down toward the inside, Bit of Powder hanging tough. Aiden's Breath. Aiden's Breath has threaded her way through and is now third. Here's Katie's Flag bounding a late bit on the outside. At the 8th pole, it's Simply Pleasant in front, but weakening. Simply Pleasant trying to hold. On the outside, Katie's Flag coming on. Bit of Powder toward the inside, and Aiden's Breath coming down to the line. Simply Pleasant, Katie's Flag. Here's the line. Photo finish.
One half a jump over that line. Zito's horse was in front by a half a length. Unfortunately for Nick, the race is about to end before he does that. But the filly does run well. Simply Pleasant, Junior Kraft Payson, H. James Bond, and Jerry Bailey. 674, 320. Katie's Flag, 6 and 460. Aiden's Breath, 410. The exacta 1.5, $46. Triple 152, 188.50. Double 7 and 1, $94. Here's the first race today. This is a 7-furlong race. These are maidens, 3-year-olds and up. They were between Prodigal Son and Mandamus. They settled on Prodigal Son with Jerry Bailey.
For My Brother was off to an awkward start. In the mid-pack, it's Mandamos trying to get to the early lead. Don't Tell D is there, and so is Fat Lady's Encore. Fat Lady's Encore now up to grab the lead. Don't Tell D running second. Mandamos is now third. On the inside, Prodigal Son running along in fourth. On the outside, Persian King is now fifth. Pleasant Court sixth between horses. Cossack Fighter drops back to seventh, followed by Watrow's Eagle, and 5 lengths back to For My Brother. The opening quarter in 22 1/5 seconds, and Fat Lady's Encore has a 4-length lead with a half-mile to run. Fat Lady's Encore hits the far turn with a diminishing lead now. Here comes Don't Tell D and Mandamus. Prodigal Son right there, third, fourth now toward the inside. Moving around that one goes Persian King, then Pleasant Court and Cossack Fighter. Around the far turn, Fat Lady's Encore has lost the lead. It's now Mandamus and Don't Tell D. Prodigal Son right there trying to come through and opening on the inside. Persian King switched out for the run into the stretch as the field turns for home. Mandamus, Jerry Bailey all over Prodigal Son trying to exhort him on. And Don't Tell D now running second. Prodigal Son taken to the outside, now running in third. In the meantime, it is Mandamus and Mike Smith pulling away from the field. Mandamus by 4 expanding lengths. Then Don't Tell D and Cossack Fighter.
Just about everybody's numbers, Mandamus was the fastest horse in the race, yet the public at the long run went to Prodigal Son. The Rokeby stable Macmillan Mystique didn't do them any good here. Mandamus ran well at Ellis Park in Kentucky, runs well here. Richard Griffin, Peter Vestal, Mike Smith. 570, 380, 310. Don't Tell D, 550, 450. Cossack Fighter, 380. 6.5's 32.40. Second race is a sprint. These are maiden filly 2-year-olds. They are state breds. The favorite this time, once again, from the inside, Thunder Achiever, and once again, Jerry Bailey.
They're off. Casa Camera getting out fast. Kello Mello is there, and Thunder Achiever. Those three scrimmaging for the lead, with Fighting Issue just in behind them running fourth. Then Hawaiian Flag, Little Notice, and Zirconian Princess. Thunder Achiever with the best early speed, getting out there now by 1.5 lengths. Casa Camera running second. Fighting Issue on the move, now third, and now second on the outside. Kello Mello back running in third, behind a quarter of 22 and 4/5 seconds. Rounding the far turn, Thunder Achiever the leader by 3/4 of a length. Pressed by Fighting Issue. Kello Mello right there, running on strongly third. On the outside, Casa Camera working harder to stay within striking range. Fighting Issue hitting her best, or rather Little Notice hitting her best stride and taking to the outside. They're now moving toward the top of the stretch, and Thunder Achiever heads for home with the lead, and Kello Mello set down for the drive running second. Fighting Issue has tailed off into third. Farther back, it's Little Notice and Casa Camera. Thunder Achievers full out, trying to hold off the oncoming Kello Mello. Kello Mello collars Thunder Achiever. Those two will ding-dong down to the line. Kello Mello's got it. Kello Mello by a...
If the filly in front of you is wagging her tail the way Thunder Achiever was, she's not a happy little girl. And if you're running right behind her, you got a pretty good chance of beating her, and that's what happens to Kello Mello. Martin O'Boyle, Rich Scanlon, Julie Crone. $12.40, $5, $3.30. Thunder Achiever, $3.90, $2.90. Little Notice, $3. 3 ones, 40.60. Quinella 1, 3, 3, 1, 14.80. The double 6 and 3, 35.20. The third is at 6.5 furlongs. Fillies and mares 3 and up. Not won a $22,000 3 times since August 18th, 94. Favorite in the long run. They couldn't make up their mind. They settled on Fantastic Women and Chavez.
Getting out quickly, and between horses, Fantastic Women hustled up, along with Libby Lee, who's down on the rail and now in front. Libby Lee sprints to the lead, out there now by a length and a half, striding away to a 2.5 length lead. A blitz down the backstretch here by Libby Lee. Fantastic Women left behind in second. It's 3.5 lengths to Regal Solution, footing to her inside. Another 5 to the trailer. Clever Act 10 lengths behind the lead. The opening quarter rattled off in 22 and 2 by Libby Lee, who still has a clear lead entering the far turn. Fantastic Women still in pursuit, running second by 2. Then Regal Solution and footing still down on the inside. Another 6 back to Clever Act. Jose Santos would like her closer. Midway round the far turn, gaining on Libby Lee. The lead's down to a half length now. Fantastic Women switch to the outside for a clear run. They ran a half in 45 and 3. Footing is down on the fence. Regal Solution right there. Clever Act drawing within 5.5 lengths of the lead. Down to the last furlong now. And the new leader is Fantastic Women. Fantastic Women pulling away. Libby Lee weakening on the inside. Then Regal Solution. Footing is in traffic, and Clever Act at the last 16th. It is Fantastic Woman with an insurmountable lead. Fantastic Woman will do it. 3.5 on the line. Regal Solution second.
Remember, I said our fans picked the wrong horse in the first. This time they knew where to go. They went to Fantastic Women. She wins for fun. After she wins, she said to Chavez, "Get off my back." Comes back to the winner's circle without him. He followed along. Betty Jean Murphy, Butch Reed, Jorge Chavez, Fantastic Women. 550, 380, 310. Regal Solution, 590, 390. Footing, 430. Exacta 25, $26. On to the fourth. There's a sprint, 3 and up. Now one is the 2, other than Maiden claiming a starter. No heavy chalk in here. Ghostly Moves the 3, Bid Baby the 7.
They're off. Bid Baby getting out first. Tata Rouge flashing speed on the inside, and between horses, Gilder has come out running third. Goodbye Donny fourth, Fort Edward fifth, Placid Fund is sixth, Ghostly Moves, and 3 lengths to Stock Power the trailer. Tata Rouge gunning up the inside to get the lead. It's Tata Rouge by a half length. Bid Baby right there with Tata Rouge. Just in behind on the outside, Fort Edward running third. In between horses, Gilder is fourth, and Placid Fund had to steady. Placid Fun was steadied going into the far turn. They rattled off a quarter, 22 seconds flat. It's Bid Baby shaking off Tata Rouge. Bid Baby in front, Fort Edward right there running second. Goodbye Donny is coming quickly, and on the far outside, Stock Power is picking off horses one by one. Stock Power was last as they enter the far turn, is second as they come out of it. At the top of the stretch, Bid Baby in front. On the outside, Fort Edward now driving. Ghostly Moves. On the far outside, Stock Power coming down to the last furlong. Bid Baby full out drive. On the outside, Ghostly Moves and Fort Edward and Stock Power. Last 16th, Bid Baby full out. And Bid Baby holding on. Ghostly Moves up for second.
Ambitious move here by Bruce Levine, about to pay off. This horse ran through its non-winners of 1 for Statebreds on July 9th. Bruce moves him right into this open race, and he wins it nicely. Bid Baby, Robert Son, Bruce Levine, Jerry Bailey. 734, 310. Ghostly Moves, 4-3. Fort Edward, 360. Exacta 7-3, 3160. Quinella 3773, 1520. The pick 3, 327, $167.50. On to the fifth. Mile and a 16th over the inner turf. Maiden, fillies, and mares 3 and up. Good solid betting race. Lukewarm chalkwood. The 8, what a way to go. The 9 in the library.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Like to Shimmy comes out after the lead. And Julie Crone riding Top Bonnet hard in the early going to get up position up close to the front. Under the line the first time, and it's Like to Shimmy and Top Bonnet going head-to-head. As Disco Doll tucks in behind them running third. Estate is fourth toward the inside. Best of both accounts is running fifth. Top Bonnet blew the turn, went very wide. Farther back in the field, on the inside in the Library, now running in fifth position. Best of both accounts is sixth on the outside. Totally Light, hugging the fence in seventh. 3 lengths back to What a Way to Go, who's followed by Belle Jour, who is second to last. The trailer is Mistress Hawk. Up the backstretch after a spirited first quarter, the leader is Like to Shimmy, pressed by Top Bonnet. Estate with a cozy spot just in behind the lead, running in third. And then Disco Doll kept within 3.5 lengths of the lead, fourth. Another 3 back to In the Library, who's fifth at the half-mile pole. Totally Light running in sixth and down inside. Farther back, Belle Jour, What a Way to Go, best of both accounts. And Mistress Hawk, who's now beginning to move. Around the far turn, Like to Shimmy is the leader. And now Estate will take a run at her at the midway point on the turn. Estate now collars Like to Shimmy. 3 lengths back to Disco Doll. Belle Jour looking for a way through now. Tip to the outside. Then Totally Light. They're coming down to the last furlong, and Estate pulling away from Like to Shimmy. Totally Light is now running second. Like to Shimmy is a fatigued third. Belle Jour is fourth. All chasing Estate. Estate in front by 2.5. Totally Light second. Belle Jour third. And Mistress Hawk, Estate
Position was the key here. All the contenders were closers. Jean-Luc Samin placed Estate right. She was laying behind the Crazy Speeds, made her move at the right time, and she's going to win it. She's trained by Pat Kelly. We've had many Pat Kelly, Eddie Kelly, Pat Kelly, Tom Kelly, Pat Kelly, Larry Kelly exactas, but not this time. This time we have a Pat Kelly, Pat Kelly. Uncoupled entry runs 1-2. Estate wins it for the Live Oak Plantation, and Pat, Samin aboard. 10:26, 4:30. Totally Light. Louis Belmonte riding for Pat, 30-80, 15-40. Belle Jour, 7:30. The exacta, the Kelly, Pat, 4-7s, 203. Triple 473, 1844. Here's the sixth race, 7 furlongs, 3 and up. Now when there's a 3-other maiden claiming a starter. The favorite here is the number 4, Wild Escapade, with Robbie Davis. And number 6.
And they're off. Paragallo's Hope springs immediately to the front. Wild Escapade broke alertly. In between horses, it's Sierra Diablo and Devious Course down inside. Paragallo's Hope clears the field and angles over to grab a spot at the rail. Just in behind her, Wild Escapade and Sierra Diablo, with Devious Course fourth on the inside. Brave Note running along in fifth early. Memories of Linda is the early trailer, about 7 lengths from Paragallo's Hope, who continues to lead the pack up the backstretch. The quarter went in 22-2. Heading for the far turn, Paragallo's Hope still in front. Sierra Diablo taking a run now at the lead. Wild Escapade right there in good striking position, a strong third. It's 3 lengths back to Devious Course, working harder to stay within striking range now. Brave Note alongside Devious Course. Memories of Linda is the trailer. They're all in with a shot as they near the top of the stretch. The half in 45-1. Paragallo's Hope and a host of challengers as they turn for home. Wild Escapade now emerging from mid-pack. In between horses, Sierra Diablo is there. Devious Course on the outside. Brave Note down the center of the track, and Memories of Linda. Paragallo's Hope is giving it up, and it is Devious Course in front. At the 16th pole, Devious Course, Wild Escapade, and Brave Note coming down to the line. Devious Course, the winner by a length of the half.
Off a layoff comes the Rudline Stables Devious Course. H. James Bond, the trainer, Frank Alvarado up. H. James Bond told Jan Rushton thought this horse might run well off the freshening. Ran well enough to win this race. Devious Course, 10:45, 290. Brave Note, who was the favorite, 380, 240. Wild Escapade was the second choice, 240. The 1-5's 33.20. On to the Mellon Turf course for 1.8 miles, the 3 and up. Now one is of 26,700 on the turf since August 1st of last year. Favorite here, heavy, number 8, Signal Tap with Jose Santos.
And they're off. Wave Your Flag and Bit of Puddin' showing the initiative here. Grand Continental is up there, Signal Tap and Johnny North. Moving by us for the first time, it's Bit of Puddin' who will vie for the lead now with Grand Continental. Johnny North runs third, and Signal Tap, the favorite, is reined in to run in fourth. Now guided over to the inside. A slick move there by Jose Santos, saving ground with the favorite Signal Tap. Little Fran in behind Signal Tap, who's followed by Coppermount, and a big break back to Wave Your Flag, who's lagging behind in the early going. They make their way into the backstretch, and Bit of Puddin' is the leader. Grand Continental sitting off him. Johnny North close to the pace third. 2 lengths back to Signal Tap, who settles in now 4 lengths from the front. Signal Tap is followed by Little Fran, who's followed on the outside by Coppermount, and Wave Your Flag still well behind the rest. Legitimate fractions here as they continue their run up the backstretch with Bit of Puddin' committed to the lead with a half-mile to go. Grand Continental has been his escort throughout. Johnny North right there running in third. 3 lengths back to Signal Tap. Jose Santos now beginning to nudge him along as they enter the far turn. 3 furlongs from the line. Grand Continental making a move for the lead. Bit of Puddin' trying to fend him off. Signal Tap now coming hard. Signal Tap gets through on the inside of Johnny North and switched to the outside of Grand Continental and Bit of Puddin'. Little Fran's just in behind the lead. They're coming down toward the last furlong now, and it is Signal Tap running erratically through the stretch, but Signal Tap is in front at the 8th pole. Bit of Puddin' running second, followed by Grand Continental and Little Fran. It is Signal Tap in front. Jose Santos keeping him to task as they come down to the line, and Signal Tap reports home like a 4 to 5.
Not exactly cigar. Let's call him a cigar, but this horse found a new life when Scotty Schulhofer put him on the weeds. This is his 3rd start there. All of them have been good. Centennial Farm, Scotty Schulhofer, Jose Santos as the chalk. Signal Tap, 370, 290, 250. Little Fran, 630, 390. Bit of Puddin', 360. The 8-4, 27.80. We're on to our feature now. The mile and an 1/8, 32nd running Jim Dandy, grade 2, $125,000 added. They only bet 3 of them. The number 3 Composer with Bailey, number 6 Star Standard with Crone, number 8 Hooley with Robbie Davis.
And they're off. Star Standard sent immediately to the lead, and Hooley is flashing his speed on the outside. Save the Whale is right there as they race for the first turn. Julie Crone going to the whip on Star Standard to get to the lead. Hooley right there to press right from the beginning. And it's 3 lengths back to Patton Jack and Save the Whale. Composer is now running in 5th in the early going. 3 lengths to Peruvian, and another 5 back to Malthus, who's been outrun behind an opening quarter of 23 1/5 seconds. They're into the backstretch. Star Standard driving on the lead. There by length. Patton Jack is up close, and Hooley is settled down right there with the pacemaker. And Composer is moving sweetly in 4th position now, and he's taken to the outside of Hooley for a clear run. Then Peruvian's only 4 lengths from the front. Another 5 to Save the Whale, and 5 lengths back to the Panamanian Colt Malthus. They ran a half in a legitimate 47 seconds flat. They're moving for the half-mile pole. Patton Jack slipping through on the inside. Hooley is there. Star Standard showing that tendency of his to bear out, and he's gone wide, 3 wide into the far turn. Composer is a strong 4th, and Peruvian 3 furlongs out, and it's Patton Jack in front, and Patton Jack the leader by a length and a half. Star Standard second. Hooley is laboring now in between horses. Peruvian coming up the inside, and there's Composer. Composer to the attack as they come to the top of the stretch. Composer, a threatening presence outside of Patton Jack. Hooley will not get it done today, and he is stopped abruptly. Star Standard won't do it either. Peruvian is 3rd. At the 8th pole, now Jerry Bailey is asking Composer for run, and he is indeed getting it. Composer is pulling away impressively here, leaving Patton Jack and the rest behind. Malthus advances to 3rd. It will be Composer who wins with style. He won the Jim Dandy by 4. And
From Easy Goer's disappointing first crop, we finally have a stakes winner, a grade 2, Composer. Composer. Henrik D. Kartovsky, Billy Mott, Jerry Bailey. Horse was overbet in the Belmont. Comes back off a very good win. This is 2 in a row for Composer. Sure, he'll go on the Travers, but not with 112 pounds. But he beats this field for fun, and both Hooley and Star Standard, big disappointments. Look at the second and third finishes. Composer, Jerry Bailey for Billy, 650, 460, 340. Malthus, horse from Puerto Rico, 22, 2730. Pat and Jack, 490. 3-4s, 188.50. Triple, 342, $842. Pick 3, 183, $90. And there's the pick 6. There were 12 tickets, 5,500 plus. 5 correct, 224 tickets, $1 short of 100. Now we'll move on to our ninth. This is a mile and 1/8 over the inner turf. Fillies and mares 3 and up. These are state breds. Now one is a race other than heavy favorite, Sweet Sea and Santos.
And they're off. I Love Lydia down toward the inside. Just to her outside, it's Patty's Purse who takes the lead now. Patty's Purse in front. I Love Lydia concedes the lead. Then it's Overtake and Do the Nasty. Under the line for the first time, Patty's Purse in front. Julie Crone trying to harness her uncontrollable speed at this point. Do the Nasty on the outside runs along in second. Overtake just in behind the lead, third by 3. And then it's I Love Lydia right there hugging the fence. She took the turn very well. My Song runs along in 5th position. Blarney Stone Lass is 6th. A Blink and a Nod is 7th on the outside. And the favorite, Sweet Sea, is 8th as they enter the backstretch. Then it's I Go Back to the King 9th. Through the Tulips is 10th. Personal Nurse is 11th. And Work of the Devil is the trailer as the field begins their run down the backstretch. Do the Nasty coming up on the outside. Overtake in between horses. Down inside Patty's Purse. The 3 of them do battle for the lead at a lively pace. Just in behind, it's My Song running in 4th. I Love Lydia 5th toward the inside. Sweet Sea has made steady progress. Sweet Sea is only 2 lengths from the lead and now beginning to roll as they move into the far turn. There goes Sweet Sea with a flourish to engage My Song. Patty's Purse stopped abruptly as A Blink and a Nod moves to 3rd. Patty's Purse is a weakening 4th. On the far outside, Overtake and I Go Back to the King. The field now turning into the stretch. Sweet Sea driving on the lead. My Song right there. Sweet Sea bearing in. My Song continues to do battle with her as they pass the 8th pole. And it's 5 lengths back to a tiring A Blink and a Nod. Through the Tulips is 4th. Work of the Devil is 5th. Sweet Sea pulling away in the last furlong. It will be Sweet Sea. My Song trying to hold for 2nd over Through the Tulips. Sweet Sea reports home by 6. My Song.
This filly disappointed last time out at even money, but she probably needed that bit of a tightener. Comes back here as a very heavy favorite, a bit of a layover, and wins accordingly. Rita Nash, Robert Hamilton own it, and Rita Nash trains it. Jose Santos, that's 2 favorites today. He got home. 410, 290, 250. My Song, 780, 460. Through the Tulips, 350. 611 exactas, $37. Triple 611, 12, 143. The late double 3 and 6, 1420.
Make the trip from Saratoga to Del Mar through the magic of simulcasting.
Flawlessly, Skimbo, Hollywood Wildcats flying down the center of the track. Flawlessly, and Hollywood Wildcats want to finish. Here it is, close, I believe, flawlessly.
Stick around in special simulcast areas for a few additional races from Del Mar, Arlington on Fridays until 7 o'clock every racing day. If you can't get enough of Saratoga, try the next best thing, Twilight Simulcasting.